Time to talk directly once again. These constant visuals that we see every few weeks and months, almost on a regular basis, of Muslim mobs, and I'll be direct about it, I'm not going to call them mobs, Muslim mobs going berserk, stone pelting, taking the law into their own hands in some Muslim-dominated area or the other, near a mosque, beating up policemen, attacking security forces. For how long are we going to allow this in our country? In the name of secularism, why should we be a country on the back foot? Because they are Muslim mobs, you'll do nothing. But if people from any other religion in our country, let me be direct, if 10 people from the Hindu religion were to do something similar, then there would be a whole bunch of people in this country saying that people from a certain community have taken the law into their own hands. But when they are Muslim mobs, then you don't want to talk about it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to be very, very direct and not politically correct anymore. I believe we'll have to call this out. So what happened at Turkman Gate, ladies and gentlemen, is completely unacceptable. If we as a nation don't put our foot down and support our security forces in taking the toughest of action, never on the back foot like they are doing, and I'm proud they have, then things are going to go out of control in our country. Ladies and gentlemen, in the United Kingdom, now the British are beginning to realize that the long arm of the law must extend to people from the minority communities as well, from the Muslim community as well. So far, they were all being very, very politically correct and extremely pseudo-liberal about it. Now, Turkman Gate is 5 to 6 kilometers from the Parliament of India, and I want to show you 5 sets of visuals of the madness that happened at Turkman Gate. And we must all support the government in the tough action being taken. But let me expose them first. 6 visuals. This proves that this was not spontaneous. It was well planned. It is the anatomy of a riot I'm going to show you tonight. First visual is that of a bike rider moving through the Turkman Gate area of Delhi, making a spectacle of the court-ordered demolition. The person is asking people to come out of their homes, come in front of the dargah, and saying that we will not let anything happen to the mosque when there was no question of any action against the mosque. This is deliberate open incitement of the Muslim community. Please hear it.
ये देखिए, मैं ये अर्बन वाले रोड पर आ गया हूँ. अब मैं आपको दिखाता हूँ यहाँ पर बिल्डोज़र. ये सामने आप देख रहे होंगे बिल्डोज़र. मैं दिखाता हूँ कितने बिल्डोज़र आए. ये देखो, ये 1, 2, 3, ये क्रेन आई हुई है. ये 4, 5, इसके पीछे 6, 7, 8, 9, ये 10, ये 11, ये 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, ये क्रेन 20, ये क्रेन और 4 पीछे भी आ रही है. और ये क्रेन आ रही है मलबा उठाने के लिए. 20 तो ऐसे ही हो गई है. और ये देखो आगे भी बिल्डोज़र है 4 और. ये देख लो 4 ये है. मेरे भाइयों, घर पे बैठने से कुछ नहीं होगा. घर से निकलो, दरगाह फेज लेके बाहर आओ, पूरी रात काली करो, मस्जिद को कुछ होने नहीं देना है.
Now, what is the person saying there? The person is saying, घर में बैठ के कुछ नहीं होगा, घर से बाहर निकलो. He is mobilizing people to go against the law enforcement agencies. Whoever this person is, he has got to be arrested. His face must be put up on all national media so that an example is made out of people like him. Ladies and gentlemen, enough letting them do what they want. Visual number 2. Remember, this is a legitimate demolition exercise. People who break the law, people who are encroaching, they must face demolition. As the demolition exercise increases, there are 32 bulldozers, 50 dump trucks, and more than 200 laborers. A crowd starts gathering in front. By now, there is a clear backdrop that you are seeing here. The demolition is not of a mosque, but a crowd turns up out there. Some are onlookers, but a lot of the people are there to show their strength, to say that we have a lot of people with us. You can't touch us. You can't touch the encroachments. Now, I ask you, viewers, if a challenge is thrown to the law enforcement agencies, are going to sit down and say, because you can gather 300, 400 people, the law enforcement machinery will do nothing? Absolutely not. Visual number 3 is of a Samajwadi Party member of parliament who paradrops at the nearby Faiz Ilahi Mosque in the Turkman Gate area, seems to be wanting to force his way inside. He has confirmed his presence at the site during the demolition. He claims he was unaware of the High Court order, unaware of the encroachments, unaware of the Masjid Committee's own submissions in court. He says he went there to stop people from losing control. I doubt it, ladies and gentlemen. What was this politician doing there? Look at the way the politician is behaving. Look at how the mob is responding to his actions out there. This, ladies and gentlemen, before you, is the way a riot is engineered in our country. Thank God nothing much happened at Turkman Gate. But I ask you all tonight, how long are we going to allow this to happen in our country? This is our country too. This is a country where people who abide by the law must be incentivized, not people who break the law and then claim that because they are from the minority community, they are being targeted. Visual number 4 tonight. At 1:23 a.m., stone pelting starts against the police personnel, which was till then trying to contain the crowd. Things are getting out of control. You can hear the stone pelters saying, hit them, hit them, hit them, Allahu Akbar. Just listen to this. Because you must hear people say, we must stop being politically correct. These are people who are saying, hit the police, attack the police, pelt stones at the police, Allahu Akbar. I am asking tonight, is this some kind of a religious war these people want to start? And are we supposed to be submissive in the face of this kind of violence? What happened at Turkman Gate, the anatomy of a riot and the visuals we are playing tonight, viewers. Then from rooftops, visual 5, ladies and gentlemen, before the stone pelting happens, there is an elaborate step-by-step plan to mobilize the crowd. This visual, you will see, it's a classic toolkit. You hear this man saying, we will hear him say, Masjid todne wale hain, Musalmano jaag jao, abhi bhi waqt hai. He is saying that the government is going to break the mosque and he's telling Muslims to come out. Open provocation for violence. Hear this for yourself.
भाई मस्जिद को तोड़ रहे हैं लोग, मस्जिद को मुसलमानों जाग जाओ, अभी वक्त है। ये देखो, ये सब तो
So these are security forces who've been near surrounded here by these violent mobs. That is why I'm saying tonight, viewers, wherever you're watching this, Maharashtra, where I was earlier today, Delhi, Assam, Bengal, Haryana, anywhere. Remember, this can happen anywhere around you, provided you give these people a long rope. Now, you cannot give rioters a long rope. You cannot give pelters a long rope. This country has taken action against the Tukde gang. This country must now take action against the stone pelter gang, against the pelter gangs in this country. Ladies and gentlemen, visual 6 tonight in my expose. From rooftops, spectators record the clashes and celebrate the attacks, praising the stone pelters. In this video, you will hear someone say, Wah bhai wah mere shero, which means, well done, my lions, my tigers. So you can see the sentiment of the person recording the video. Hear this.
तेरी कसम वो भाग गया वाह भाई वाह जवाब नहीं भाई नहीं वाह जीरारी वाह भाई वाह
So viewers, you listen to this when you hear the people, and this is someone from the local community who is loving the violence, it is because the person recording the video, calling rioters tigers, and the place around, the community support is there. I don't want to be politically correct. There is support from the local community for the stone pelters. In our country, the politically correct fake media does not have the guts to say the things I am doing tonight. There is local support, and this local support is bad. And then eventually, ladies and gentlemen, I'll show you one last video, the final visual where open calls are made to gather more people at the Faiz Ilahi Mosque.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम मेरे भाइयों, ये देखो जो दरगाह फैज इलाही का मैटर चल रहा था भाई, देखो आज इन्होंने देखो बिल्डोजर भी बुला लिए हैं और इनकी पूरी मिलिट्री भी आ गई है। भाई देखो आप, ये देखो हज मंजिल है तुर्कमान गेट पे, भाई साहब इनकी पूरी मिलिट्री भी लगी हुई है। और ये मीडिया वाले आए हुए हैं। भाई ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोग भाई दरगाह फैजुलाई पे पहुंचे। आप लोगों से भाई हाथ जोड़ के गुजारिश है।
So viewers, I've shown you the evidence. I've shown you 7 sets of visuals. What are the facts? This has nothing to do with the mosque. This is to do with encroachment. The fact of the matter is the area encroached spreads to 38,500 square feet. This is as per court orders. There is 458% more land than was originally leased to the mosque. Imagine encroachments in the heart of Delhi of 38,500 square feet. This is about rent. At conservative estimates, this is about crores and crores and crores of rupees people are making in rent. They are renting illegal spaces. They're taking over parts of our country, turning it into an encroachment area, building an encroachment colony. And if you ask them any questions, they will say, our mosque is being targeted. Our religion is being targeted. They don't have the honesty to say, no, our illegalities are being exposed. The court has allowed it. We broke the law. We are being told you can't break the law anymore. Viewers, there is this toolkit, and I'm saying this tonight because I believe, yes, the government has done a lot, but we, the people, also need to be extremely careful. That's why I say we need a wave of nationalism in this country. We need to realize this is unacceptable. This is wrong. Call it out for what it is. The problem is that in our country, there are more people who want to discuss Greenland or Trump than they want to discuss what happened at Turkman Gate, because it's very convenient. You see, it's convenient not to talk about what is happening in our country. It is convenient not to see the ugly scenes. It's convenient to look the other way. Look at the visuals from Nagpur. Have we forgotten what happened in Nagpur on 17th March 2025? Have we forgotten what happened? See the visuals again. 33 police personnel, including a DACP rank officer, were injured. 114 people were arrested. Why? Because some people wanted to glorify Aurangzeb and his tomb. Now, how long are we going to allow this to happen in our country? How long will we be mute witness? I say no longer. If it's gone on for a long time and people think it's convention to look the other way and imagine it won't happen to you, I say to the people of this country, look away no more. I say to the viewers of Republic, look away no more. Do not pretend it is something that does not concern you. It does. It will. Remember, today Murshidabad, tomorrow the place next to you. Look at Murshidabad. During the Waqf Act, see how this place turned into an unstoppable tsunami of violence. And Mamata Banerjee did precious little. And then remember, the violence, once it starts, it spreads. Does the pseudo gang have the guts to say that Hindu homes were targeted? Hindus were targeted, that Hindu homes were marked with ink and then targeted? That there was an exodus of hundreds of Hindus who had to leave the area, cross the Bhagirathi River, and take shelter in the adjoining Malda district? Ladies and gentlemen, an exodus of Hindus. Exodus of Hindus in a country more than 80% Hindu, where Hindus in certain pockets cannot live. Are we going to turn some areas into ghettos only for certain communities? Is that fair? Is that secular? And when you say tomorrow that you will not allow the street veto, this street veto cannot be allowed, that you can get 100, 200,000 people on the streets and pelt stones and everybody is going to be on the back foot? Why be on the back foot, ladies and gentlemen? You remember the visuals of Sambhal. Yogi Adityanath is handling it. The court ordered Archaeological Survey of India survey over the Shahi Jama Masjid in Sambhal. Ladies and gentlemen, we all saw the visuals that happened there. These were pre-planned protests as well. Firstly, these are not protests. This is an attempt at intimidating the security forces and police in our country. Piles of bricks are put and it's all captured, and then the mob is carefully provoked, and these events are caught on camera. What is my broader point? Broader point is, please remember, in Sambhal, 41 empty cartridges, 21 shells of 12-bore pistols, 11 shells of 32-bore pistols, 9 shells of 3.315 bore pistols were found on the spot. I'm saying to you tonight, all of this is not an innocent, spontaneous outburst of anger. It is using a riot as a threat to intimidate the state. Therefore, just as I said, what the Tukre gang did was not just block a road, it was an attempt at regime change. We say today, it is the rule of law which is the only thing which matters in our country. And the people, the media of this country, the people of this country must exercise their rights to express their share of voice in these issues. Therefore, viewers, if you think this is correct, share this video. Please do not ever allow a situation to happen in our country where a small group of people who, for whatever their reasons, have mastered the art of taking the law into their own hands, dominate everybody else. It cannot and will not be allowed.